Right now, whatever device you're watching this on, it's running dozens, maybe hundreds of pieces of software. But what you probably don't realize is that there's a constant invisible war being fought right inside that device. It's a battle between the people who build our digital world and those who want to tear it down. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden battlefield.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Every single click, every login, every time you hit send, it all depends on layers and layers of security that you never even see. But here's the thing. Those defenses aren't invincible. And understanding what happens when they fail, well, that's the key to understanding why this silent war matters so much. So, if we want to understand how we build these digital fortresses, we have to start by getting inside the mind of the attacker. We need to open up their playbook and really look at the common tricks and tools they use to break the software we rely on every day. Let's kick things off with an absolute classic, phishing. This is all about the art of deception. You know that urgent email you get from your bank, the one that says you have to verify your account details right now? It looks real, it feels real, but it's a trap. It's designed to exploit a very human weakness, our trust, and our tendency to rush when we feel pressured.
And here's exactly how they pull it off. It's actually brilliantly simple. You see a link, and the text clearly says harvard.edu. Your brain sees that, thinks, okay, that's legit, and you click. But the code hidden underneath, the part you don't see, is actually sending you somewhere completely different. An attacker could easily point that to a fake login page made to look exactly like the real thing, and just like that, they've got your password.
All right, let's talk about something a little more sneaky. It's called code injection, and a really common type is cross-site scripting, or XSS for short. This is a wild one because it actually turns a website's own features against itself. Instead of typing a normal comment or a search term, the attacker injects a little piece of malicious code. If the website isn't built to handle this, it might just run that code as if it were a totally normal part of the site.
And this right here, this is a perfect simple example of what that code might look like. An attacker could pop this into a search bar. It's just a tiny bit of JavaScript. Now, a vulnerable website might take that input and actually run it, making a little pop-up that says attack appear on your screen. Now, an alert box itself isn't dangerous, but what it does is prove that a serious vulnerability is there, one that could be used to do a whole lot worse, like steal your data.
Now, these XSS attacks kind of come in two main flavors. You've got a reflected attack, which is more of a one-time trick. It's usually in a malicious link that you have to be fooled into clicking. But then there's the stored attack, and this one is way more dangerous. The malicious code actually gets saved on the website, say in a comment section. Now, anybody who just visits that page gets hit with the attack. It's a digital landmine.
And finally for this section, we've got cross-site request forgery, or CSRF. Okay, try to picture this. You're logged into your online banking website. Then, an attacker tricks you into visiting some other malicious site. Hidden on that page is code that secretly forges a command, like transfer money, and sends it from your browser to your bank. And because you're already logged in, your bank thinks you're the one who sent it. It's literally like an attacker tricking your browser into sending a forged check on your behalf.
Okay, that was a lot of doom and gloom, right? The good news is, for every one of these attacks, there's a defense. So let's flip the script and look at the clever toolkit that developers use to build digital fortresses and keep us safe from these very threats.
So remember that XSS attack, the one that injects malicious code? How do you stop it? Well, the main defense is a really smart technique called character escaping. When an attacker tries to inject that malicious code, a secure server doesn't just blindly trust it. Instead, it escapes those special characters, basically turning them from active code into plain, harmless text. So now the browser just displays the code on the screen instead of running it. Attack neutralized.
And here are the usual suspects. Characters like these less than and greater than signs. They're the building blocks of web code. By just neutralizing these 5 key characters, developers can shut down a massive number of potential injection attacks. It really shows you that so much of digital security boils down to being incredibly careful about what you let a user type into a box.
Okay, what about those forged requests, the CSRF attacks? The defense here is called a CSRF token. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a secret handshake. When you log into a secure site, the server gives your browser a secret, unique code, a token. Then every time you try to do something important, like change your password, your browser has to present that token. The attacker's forged request from that other website, it doesn't know the secret handshake, so the server just slams the door.
And what about attacks to try to go after the database itself? For that, the key defense is something called a prepared statement. It's a brilliantly simple idea. Instead of mixing the command and the user's data together, you send them separately. First, you tell the database what you're going to do, like, hey, I'm about to search for a user.
and then you send the data, like the username. By keeping the command and the data separate, you make it impossible for an attacker's input to mess with the logic of the original command.
But security isn't just about these clever lines of code. It's a much, much bigger picture. The entire digital ecosystem, from how software is made to the app stores we use every single day, it all plays a role in keeping us safe. Let's zoom out and look at this wider web of safety. In the software world, you've basically got two major camps, two different philosophies on security. On one side, you have open source. Their motto is security through transparency. The idea is that with the code being public, you have thousands of many eyes looking for flaws, making it stronger. On the other side, you have closed source, which operates on security through obscurity. If you hide the code, it's harder for bad guys to find the weaknesses. They're just two very different strategies in the exact same fight.
And think about how you get your software. You're usually going through a gatekeeper, right? Like the Apple App Store or Google Play. These places aren't just storefronts. They are a super critical layer of defense. They scan apps for malicious code, and they use digital signatures to verify that the software you're about to install is the real deal and hasn't been tampered with.
So, how do companies find these vulnerabilities before the criminals do? Well, one of the smartest things the industry ever came up with is bug bounties. They literally pay ethical hackers to try and break their systems. It's a brilliant move that turns potential adversaries into allies, giving them a big financial reason to report a flaw instead of selling it on the black market.
And this whole defense effort isn't just guesswork. Security professionals are plugged into a global intelligence network. They have shared databases to track every known vulnerability, systems to score how dangerous each one is, and even predictive tools that try to guess which flaws are most likely to be used in an attack next. It's all about letting defenders focus their energy on the biggest, most immediate threats.
So we've seen the attacks and we've seen the defenses. But here is the thing you absolutely have to understand. This isn't a battle that can be won once and for all. It's a dynamic, constantly shifting, never-ending arms race.
And this, right here, is the single most important takeaway from all of this. For every clever new defense we build, attackers are already looking for a new way around it. Security isn't a product you can just buy or a feature you add and forget. It's a process, a continuous, relentless cycle of attack, defense, and adaptation.
So that leaves us with one final critical question. As our lives become more and more digital, as software really does eat the world, this silent battle becomes more important than ever before. The stakes get higher every single day. The real question isn't if this battle will ever end. It won't. The question is, in this accelerating arms race, who's winning right now? And what does it mean for all of us if that balance starts to tip? That's something to think about.